plowing into the chicane, and there's a spin and a big incident. Several cars involved.
I don't know if that's Kendall or if that's Chris Neifel. It's tough to see from here, but it's definitely Jack Baldwin. And the Camaro sitting there against the pylons or the retaining wall.
One of the Olivetti cars was definitely involved. Several cars went straight through the chicane. The yellow flag is flying, and Jack Baldwin is dead in the water. Trying to get it started again and get around the tire barriers. Jack Baldwin is started and will remain in the race, but not a real good start to this race.
That was a terrible start. I'm not sure what happened, but it looked a lot like one of the Olivetti cars got hit real hard from behind, got him sideways, and that just started all the chaos.
Jack Baldwin, you saw him drive away. And the rest of the field, meanwhile, continues around this track. Here's again is the start of the race, and watch one of the Olivetti cars. He got hit from behind by Scott Sharp, it looked like.
Real hard by Scott Sharp. Got him sideways. In fact, it was an incident a lot like last couple weeks ago at Detroit. Really got hit hard from behind, put him sideways, and Jack Baldwin was just an innocent bystander.
Many of the cars went straight through the chicane, waiting for things to clear up, and Jack Baldwin, meanwhile, will join this field at the rear. Olds Cutlass Supreme has won 5 races in his career, including one this year at Sears Point, and right now he's out in front here.
So he's got a commanding lead here over second place, really running strong, and he really showed the way for him at Sears Point earlier this year, and it looks like he may do the same today.
Start of the race might have been a benefit to Darren Brasfield because everybody behind him got held up in the melee. Max Jones is in second place. Chris Neifel in third. Jones in the 2 car, Neifel in 3, running second and third. That's the battle you're seeing right now.
Jack Baldwin has entered the field just from his pit stop. He's not racing for the lead here. He's a couple laps down and really should be getting out of some of these guys' way.
Neifel trying to find a way around Max Jones to take over second place. Right on his bumper. Chris Neifel in the 3 car, the Olivetti Beretta. Max Jones in the number 2 car, the blue Ford Mustang, as they go down the backstretch.
You have to remember here that there's a lot of difference. Here we are with Darren Brasfield. He's running a V6. Max Jones with a V8, and then back with a V6 in Chris Neifel's car. A little bit different weights. The SCCA has tried to pair them up as close as they can to keep the competition close, and I think they've done a great job.
This should be a V8 racetrack, shouldn't it, Scott?
You'd think so with the long straightaway, but it looks today like the V6s are showing the way.
Right now it's Brasfield in front, and there's the damage on Tommy Kendall's car, who was involved in the start of the melee at the start, and there's smoke coming from Scott Sharp's car. His car is smoking heavily, and he's the one that precipitated it all on lap number 1.
But he may have had a little damage to the front radiator area, or maybe that's just a tire rub. It's really tough to say. It looks like he's got a lot of tore up bodywork all over the front.
Scott Sharp, who won his first Trans Am race of his career last week in Detroit, may be seeing this one come to an end early. The 33 car, the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, smoking heavily in the front end, 22 years old. Just graduated from Babson College in Massachusetts with a degree in finance. It's going to do him a whole lot of good here today.
That car is really tore up in the front, and it looks like there's a lot of oil coming up on the windshield, so I'm guessing it's more of an engine problem than just a body problem.
Well, Scott Sharp hopefully not laying down oil on the racetrack for the rest of the field. Here's a battle further back in the field. Herb Hare trying to work his way up. The battle for 4th position.
This track really lends itself nicely for a lot of room for passing. The straightaway is very long. There's an opportunity to actually draft up on the guy and out-deep him in the chicane area. We're going to see a lot of that action today.
Les Lindsay and Robert Lapalainen going at it here. A lot of racing throughout the field on the racetrack.
Les Lindley, an old competitor from Trans Am, running very strong today.
The Trans Am cars are racing in the Pacific Northwest. Chris Neifel in the 3 car. Chris has been trying to get around Jones for a couple of laps now, and so far Max has been able to hold him off.
Max, I think, has just a little bit longer legs in his car on the straightaway. You can see Chris catch up to him in the corners, and one thing we have to remember is the heavier cars are definitely tougher on the tires. And here he goes up the inside. We're talking about the little bit lighter weight with the V6s, and this is under a perfect opportunity to pass, a little bit better under the braking area.
Neifel takes over second place. Jack Baldwin is the 3rd car in the sequence there, but he is a couple of laps down because of the first lap incident. 1 lap down, that is. It's Neifel, Jones, and then Baldwin Baldwin 1 lap down. You can see on the front straight, the V8 is closing in again.
Yeah, you see, like you said earlier, the V8 seems to have a little bit more straightaway speed, and that's what the SCCA knows. The V6 is definitely better under braking and under acceleration. That's strictly because of weight.
You are looking through Paul Gentilosi's helmet camera. Let's sit back and watch and listen as he laps Portland International Raceway. Smoking on the racetrack, John Brumder from Boulder, Colorado. In the Olds Cutlass, showing some smoke along the backstretch.
Looks like a lot of smoke here out of the, looks like the exhaust area. Maybe another engine problem, like Scott Sharp definitely coming into the pits here and should get that checked out.
John Brumder's day could be coming to an end. So Attrition showing its head early. Scott Sharp is out of the race. John Brumder looks like he could be through for the afternoon. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, this is Darren Blessfield, your leader in the Oldsmobile Cutlass.
I had a chance to spend a little time with Paul over the last few days, and he's the owner of the car that Darren's driving, and a great guy. He's really determined to take those Oldsmobiles. He's picked up a little from last year and definitely showing the way here this race.
Darren Blessfield is your leader. There's a spin on the racetrack. Jerry Clinton spins, nobody collects him. Now he tries to get back on the course, keeps the engine running, finds a spot, and rejoins the race, but falls back several positions.
Jerry's been kind of having a tough last few days. He's had the car quite all over the course and had a few spins, I know, this morning in the warm-up session, so maybe just chassis problems that can't quite get worked out.
Jerry Clinton, this is his 46th Trans Am race. We'd like to forget that little incident.
I certainly would.
There you see the racing through the corner. On the infield section of the track, this is a second place battle right here. This is your third place car right here. And there's a battle for third as Irv Hare has closed in on Max Jones. So Irv Hare trying to move up.
You have to remember this morning was quite cool temperatures, and a lot of the guys may have set up their car for the cooler temperatures. Now it's very hot out, and it looks like the V8 cars may be using tires up a little quicker than V6s. We see Max here in a V8, Irv in a V6. We saw Chris get around him, and it looks like Irv's giving one heck of a run.
Irv Hare started the day in 7th spot and is now battling for third. Max Jones in the 2 car, Hare in the 15 car. They're battling for third place. Down the long straightaway. Looks like the Mustang starts to pull away a little bit. Chris Neifel gets around some slower traffic. Here's the battle for third. Irv Hare in the 15 car. 5 career wins. He has one this year at Dallas. 55 points. Ties him for 8th place. This is a Trans Am race in Portland, Oregon, and we'll be back after this.
A lot of damage on the rear of the car from the first lap, and I'm not sure what happened, but there's a lot of damage on the front of that car.
Let's take a look at what happened. Tommy Kendall involved in his second wreck of the day. Gentilesi gets sideways, spins in the corner. And here comes Tommy Kendall with a banged-up race car. It's already banged up when he gets by Gentilesi, so something happened elsewhere on the racetrack. 2 separate incidents on the racetrack, and let's go down to the pits now. Michael Brockman.
Yes, I'm in Tommy Kendall's pit. They're trying to pull the front end off this car, just take it off so he can get back in the fray, so to speak. But
it's a major problem here. It can work for you or it can work against you. Darren looks like he's making his way through it real well. Chris does. Now, this could be an opportunity for Irv actually to put a move on Max. Max may be dicing around in traffic a little bit. He may slip up the inside.
Max Jones now trying to get by Jerry Clinton, who we saw spin just a few minutes ago. Now they break out wide along the backstretch. Max Jones getting by some slower traffic. That bottles in. Irv Hare ducks in behind Clinton. And as they go into turn number 7, look at that driving. Max Jones holds off Irv Hare for 3rd place.
That was some pretty dicey driving there. Just enough room for Max to slip on by those 2 collapsed cars, but I don't know, it's pretty close for me.
Now down the front straightaway. We'll see if Irv Hare can take Max Jones for 3rd. Nice battle going on.
Have to remember the V6 a little bit better under braking, the V8 a little bit better down the straight.
Through the chicane. They set themselves up for turn number 1. Irv Hare currently in 4th, tries to duck to the inside. Can't do it. Max Jones shuts the door. Now they're coming up on a slower car. Who will that benefit? To the inside goes Jones. Irv Hare tries to follow him around and does so. Very close action here in Portland. Now Hare tries to get by in the corner and does. Irv Hare takes over 3rd place.
Nice move. Nice clean move right up the inside of Max. And that's really almost a textbook sort of a pass. Real clean.
See if he can pull away now along the backstretch. One of the fastest parts of this race course. Max Jones tucks right behind Irv Hare. How much do you use the curbs here, Scott?
Well, in a Trans Am car, you can get away with driving over the curbs quite a bit, and actually it helps in some parts of the track to make the car work a little better. I know that's maybe hard to believe, but certainly true.
This is the battle for 3rd place, currently held by Irv Hare. That man, Max Jones, just got past trying to get it back. Through the chicane. Looks like it throws the car around a little bit.
It gets around a little bit. You can see that these cars are pretty forgiving. They can go out over the curbs without getting the cars too much disturbed, pick up tires, where if you're an Indy car, that really disturbs the car. You need to stay off those curbs.
Working lap number 12 here in Portland. Darrell, 9-turn road course in Portland, Oregon. Driving a very smooth race and nobody's in front of him.
Darren's been running a real good, strong race here so far, really keeping it off the curbs. He has that situation where he can get out there and really take it easy. Take it easy on the tires. Take it easy on the brakes. Be careful with the situation. He really doesn't have any contenders. You can see Chris in his mirrors. He has no reason to push it hard right now.
The 3 car, Chris Neifel, is your 2nd place car. Max Jones right now running in 4th place. The 2 car, the Mustang. Max Jones has a 3rd place as his best finish this year at Phoenix. He's 4th at Dallas. Has 54 points, good enough for 9th place after 4 races in the Trans Am Series. One of the favorites to do very well in the championship race this year.
Definitely. Max Jones is a hard charger, definitely in the points race. And that's another thing we forgot to mention about Tommy Kendall. They're in there, even though they can't win this race, they want to get back there and get those championship points.
Vic Danielson in the 9 car. The 55 car is Bob Sobey racing back in the field. This is for 6th place. The battle for 6th place. Danielson and Sobey. Danielson in the Olds Cutlass. Sobey in the Camaro. And manufacturers points. Very big thing in Trans Am racing.
Very big. All the major manufacturers see involved here. Ford, Chevrolet, and now Oldsmobile, a new contender. They've been racing for a few years, but really have shown the way this year.
Oldsmobile has won 3 straight races, and for the first time ever, they've done that with 3 different teams. So, as we said at the top of the show, parity has really come to Trans Am racing.
It's good to see this kind of racing. It was kind of dominated by Ford for a while. They ran very, very strong. Then by Lincoln Mercury. Now we're seeing kind of a switch back and forth. Oldsmobile, we haven't seen much of them. Now really charging hard and showing the way for a lot of people. And Ford knocking at their doors. So it's been some great racing so far this year.
Vic Danielson running in the 5th spot. Sobey in 6th place. You're riding now with car number 40, Jim Durhag, as you get his vantage point around this racetrack.
You can watch. It's a good shot from inside the car as he goes up through the back, moving his hands around, really showing the way around the track. Nice and smooth moves. That's one thing that's pretty exciting about driving the Trans Am cars. They're nice and smooth, and you can really have a chance to work with them.
This man has been around for a while. This is his 99th race. That puts him first on the all-time list as far as starting races. He has 11 top 5 finishes, 61 top 10. He really knows what he's doing. We have another incident on the race course. That's car number 0. The 0 car, John Anderson, is backwards somewhere on the track trying to get back on.
He's been having a tough weekend, too. Been off the track a few times this morning, and looks like it got away from him again here.
The Camaro, the Cerrone Foods Camaro, is off the course and is now back on the racetrack. Let's take a look again at what happened to John Anderson. See there, get completely sideways, locks up the brakes, and close call as cars miss him to the inside. So John Anderson keeps it running and is back on the racetrack. And just like road racing, it's only yellow in that area. So once you get by the trouble, you're still racing. Anderson doesn't look like there's any damage to the car. Tommy Kendall, believe it or not, is trying to go back out in this race, and he is leading the points, so every point he could possibly pick up is big, and they've almost rebuilt that entire car. Lapalainen has a win this year. He won at Phoenix, 64 points, and it gets him into a tie for 5th place. He has 15 top 10 finishes and has 23 races. So this man has consistently run up front since he began Trans Am racing.
From Finland originally. In fact, I still think he travels over the ocean to get here, and a tough competitor. Learned a lot last year, and very strong this year. Looking real good at Phoenix, where he won there, and definitely coming on here today.
Wayne Akers looks like he could be closing a little. Looking to take over 8th place. Robert Lapalainen.
We have to remember these guys. They want to push as hard as they can, but they have to remember they have to conserve. They have to take care of the brakes. Even more importantly on this track, they have to take care of the tires. Portland being a fairly unique track where most of the turns are right-hand. There's only 2 left-hand turns, 3 left-hand turns. So they really set up the car to go one direction. They kind of give away those other 2 turns and make up a lot of the speed in the right-handers. And because of that, they can really heat up the outside tires if they aren't careful.
Dick Danielson moving in on Jack Baldwin now, who is a lap down. Danielson trying to get by him. Of course, Baldwin was involved in that first lap crash at the start of the race. This is a 53-lap race, just a little over 101 miles. So there are no pit stops, so that really brings out your point about conserving. Let's go down to the pits, Michael Brockman.
Yeah, I'm with Dan Binks, crew chief on Tommy Kendall's car. Dan, you're 8 laps down, but you guys really did a marvelous job putting the front end on that car and getting it back out.
Yeah, we're trying just to get points now. I mean, we got taken out there on the first lap.
Just getting a message here from Kendall right now. We'll be right back with you. Back to you for a second, Bill.
All right, at the front of the field, this is Darren Brassfield, who really has it pretty easy right now, Scott.
Darren just out there cruising right now. He's in his situation. He's conserving his car. He's conserving the tires. Really playing it safe for right now.
19 laps are down in the Oldsmobile Trans Am Classic. We'll be back after this. Getting by Max Jones, or does he? Door handle to door handle, swaps a little paint in. Les Lindley gets by for 4th place.
I'm guessing that Max may be having some braking problems. Got past under braking before, got past in that other area. I'm just curious, maybe he has some sort of problem going on.
Max Jones started this race from the pole and is now sliding backwards. He's now in 5th place as Lindley gets by. Les Lindley, a veteran, his 96th race here today. 21 top 5 finishes, 46 top 10. He has 36 points accumulated so far this year for 12th place. Les Lindley could accumulate a few more if he can keep moving through this field. Sliding through the corners, that wears in the tires.
It certainly does. That's one thing we talked about earlier. They have to be careful with the tires. They want to be in a situation where they have a good car in the race in case they have to get down and charge hard there at the end. I'm guessing just from seeing other SCCA races, there's a good chance that caution's going to come out and punch back up the field. But if that situation happens, they have to have a good car underneath them to really charge for that win.
21 laps are down. This is a 53-lap race. Long way to go here in Portland. That's Chris Neifel running in 2nd place. 6 feet 6 inches tall, a huge basketball fan. Chris talked about how tall he really is and how his height affects his racing career.
Well, in racing, generally, being tall is a huge disadvantage. It limits what you're able to do in terms of the cars that you can get into. Some of the different series, it limits who you can co-drive with. In our case here with the ICI Berettas, it's perfect. The cars were built around Tommy and myself, and it's match made in heaven.
It's nice when you can put the seat all the way back. Cruise right on down the backstretch like Chris Neifel is right now.
Looks like he's getting a real charge from Irv Hare there. I remember we were talking to Chris a little bit, and the fact that when he was running GTP, they actually built a bubble on top of the 962 so he could get in the car and fit without bumping his head.
When he ran Indy cars, the one year he ran in Indianapolis, it was really tough because he was taller than the roll bar. Right now, he's got his hands full and his mirrors are full with Irv Hare. This is a battle for second place. Chris Neifel in the 3 car, Hare in the 15 car. After 20 laps, here's how they stand. Max Jones, after 20 laps, he now stands in 5th place. And Neifel has his hands full trying to hang on to second. They're approaching some slower traffic.
Interesting thing is you got to remember Chris is out there on Goodyears. Irv Hare is on Firestones. There hasn't been very many races where they raced head-to-head towards the end of the race. Irv's had some problems, this, that, and the other. Should be interesting. Portland being a pretty tough track on tires, it should be interesting to see what tire holds up better.
It's a flat tire for Buzz Dyer. The Olds Toronado, you can see the left rear tire has gone flat. He will try to limp back to the pits and get that changed. So Buzz Dyer has a problem. We'll come back with more from Portland. The Oldsmobile Trans Am Classic. Darren Brasfield is leading. In the second and third place cars have tangled. Chris Neifel and Irv Hare are both off the course after a collision. You can see the damage. Chris Neifel pulling part of his race car behind him. Now they're back and racing and bumping again. Neifel trying to get by Hare. Hare holds him off. What a race.
I'd say that there was a little more to that than what we saw. Chris Neifel leaning on Irv Hare there a little bit, and definitely going to have to make a pit stop. Maybe looks like he has a flat there.
Well, they came out the way they went in. Chris Neifel ahead of Irv Hare. Let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened. Neifel already sideways. Hare collects him right there at the back of the car. Both drivers keep the car running. Neifel is the first to get back on track. Then watch the race. They really had a great race once they got back on the track together. But nevertheless, Neifel is still ahead of Irv Hare, and Hare has a flat tire.
Both those guys be making pit stops to get those cars checked out. I'm guessing that Irv probably leaned on him a little bit, going in there, got him a little sideways, and ended up hitting him to take him out. Well, I should say take him out of the race, but take him out of position.
So Irv Hare and Chris Neifel are both in the pits for repairs. That will drop both of those drivers well back, clearing the grass away from the radiator of Chris Neifel to prevent any overheating problems. They jack the car up. They'll put new tires on Chris Neifel's Olivetti Beretta. Let's go down to the pits. Michael Brockman.
Yeah, I tell you, the Olivetti cars are having a hard time out here. They've been hit front, rear, everywhere else. They've replaced the right rear tires that have gone flat on Chris's car, and he is away. Now, at the other end of the pits, we've got Irv Hare, and I can't really tell from this vantage point what exactly is going on. They got right side up. Look like they're putting on 2 right side tires. They're throwing him down, and he's away. So back to you, Brian.
Irv Hare, we saw had at least one flat tire on the right side. Meanwhile, Darren Brasfield doesn't mind that happening behind him because he's just pulling farther and farther away in the lead. Here's another angle. Hare to the inside. He does spin Neifel, and then he collects him again right there. So you called it exactly right, Scott.
Looks like he got up on the inside of him, just was able to clip the rear of him. It's hard to really point a finger, and sometimes they say that's racing.
Dick Danielson does a little agriculture racing as well, getting off the track and through the grass, but is now back on the track. It's been interesting in that part of the racetrack.
It certainly has. And Les Lindley has inherited second.
So by virtue of the coming together of Chris Neifel and Irv Hare, Les Lindley is now in second place, and Darren Brasfield is, you can really consider his car because he's rolling right along.
He's oblivious to this whole situation. He doesn't really care what's going on back there. It's nice and clean.
Here's a battle for third place. Lapalainen looking at Dick Danielson, but Danielson slams the door. Lapalainen might try again in this corner. They're leading toward the backstretch. Danielson in the 9 car. Lapalainen in the black and gold 4 car. And Danielson now trying to hang on to 3rd place. Lapalainen right on him.
Rosenfield Ford battle again, V6 and V8. It should be interesting to see how Lapalainen gets down the straight, if he has enough legs to get by him.
We saw Dick Danielson get off course that allowed Lapalainen to close up, and here he does again, going into turn number 7 to the inside. Robert Lapalainen, and he takes over 3rd place.
A little bit more straightaway speed there. He manages this kind of slip up inside Danielson there and make his way by.
Through turn 9, number 9 now, and heading his way down the front stretch and pulling away a little bit from Dick Danielson. So Lapalainen trying to move through this field and get up toward Darren Brasfield. Lapalainen now in 3rd place. Lapalainen started in 12th and is now up to 3rd. Let's go down to Michael Brockman.
Yeah, Kneiffel's obviously having a problem down here, Brian. They changed the right rear tire. That didn't seem to be enough. They had to take it back off again, check something on the lower A-arm, I suppose, and they're going to send him back out again. These guys are having their problems. Back to you, Brian.
There's definitely a traffic jam in the Olivetti pits. Both Tommy Kendall and Chris Kneiffel both in at the same time. Dick Danielson now being reeled in by Wayne Akers in the 21 car. So Danielson now trying to hold on to 4th place. Down the backstretch they go. And it's again an Oldsmobile and Ford battle. Going into turn number 7, Danielson pulls Akers off, but Akers is right on his bumper.
He's leading up. Danielson pits. He's coming into the pits.
Danielson comes into the pits. Wayne Akers inherits 4th place. So Danielson might have a problem. So Attrition is leading to position changes at the front of the field. Crashes, and now problems by Dick Danielson. And a lot of guys are inheriting good spots at the front of the field. Let's take a look at Dick Danielson's pit time. Looking at the rear of the car, might be a problem with the left rear wheel.
2 guys going to work there, trying to see what that situation is.
Could be a possible brake fire, we understand. A long pit stop, and Dick Danielson lost 25 seconds in the pits after running in 4th place.
I'm surprised to see this much attrition here at Portland. Generally, it's an uneventful race, but I'll tell you what, today there's been a lot of events.
And this man is comfortably out in front. Darren Brasfield is leading the Oldsmobile Trans Am Classic at the Portland International Raceway. We'll be back after this. Remember, the problem was he felt the lead was big enough to go into the pit and get a change.
Interesting to see what happened or why he made that pit stop. Everything looked like it was going along real smooth, and it didn't look like they changed anything on the car.
Well, let's take a look at the race summary. After 26 laps, your leader, Darren Brasfield, he has led from start to finish. No cautions as far as full course variety is concerned. 9 cars still on the lead lap, and your average speed better than 96 miles per hour. But Darren Brasfield's lead has gone from 34 seconds plus to about 14 seconds. So he now has his hands full once again. These are the cars out of the race after 26 laps. Scott Sharp and Tommy Kendall out early. John Brumder, Bill Lester. Let's go back down to the pits. Michael Brockman.
Yeah, Brian, I just spoke with Charlie Selleck, and he said that Darren came in, thought he had a tire going down. They checked it. There's not a problem with the tire, so Charlie sort of thinks it's a rear end. Send him back out there, going to let him get a few more laps and see what the problem, if it materializes or gets any worse. Back to you, Brian.
Darren Brasfield is still in the lead, but is not real happy with the race car.
Doesn't sound like he is at all, but he's in a situation now where he has a nice, comfortable lead. Just go out and try and bring the car home. There may be some sort of problem going on with the car, but nobody's challenging him at this point in time.
32 laps are down. 21 laps remain in this race. Still a long way to go here at Portland. The car is sideways. It looked like one of the Olivetti cars. It is. It's Chris Kneiffel. Again, an Olivetti Beretta involved in an incident. The second one Kneiffel has been involved with today. Pulls back out on the racetrack ahead of Jack Baldwin.
Olivetti cars been having a tough day today. They've been in the middle of all the melee.
Chris Kneiffel, another off-course excursion. Meanwhile, Darren Brasfield, your leader, all alone on the backstretch. And remember, though, he is not happy with the car. He thought the tire was going down. Could be a problem with the rear end. And Les Lindley, that's your second-place car, is starting to close down. Les Lindley starting to close in on the leader, Darren Brasfield.
It'll be interesting to see if Les actually catches Darren or not. He lost a little time making the pit stop. Should be interesting to see if he's holding his own or not.
Les started the day in the 11th place, and now you see the difference between first and second. Lindley now going in to the chicane. The difference is 7.5 seconds between the leader, Darren Brasfield, in second place. The yellow car right there, Les Lindley.
Les Lindley in a situation where he hasn't really been challenging anybody, but due to some of the problems, has just inherited second place.
Here's Irv Hare still on the race course with big damage. Of course, he was involved in the incident with Chris Neifel a little bit earlier, but pieces of that car flying all over the place.
Definitely a situation to stay out there and get those points, get those drivers' points, get the manufacturer's points, and hopefully finish that race.
You can see smoke coming out of the left side of the car. Looked like the tire might be rubbing. Irv Hare was running up front. Now is in 14th place. After spending time in the pits after the altercation with Neifel. So Irv Hare out there running for points. You can see the piece of sheet metal rubbing up against that tire, causing the smoke.
A lot of damage, and potentially could be an overheating problem with him if he's not careful.
There's your second place car. Looking now at Jack Baldwin and Chris Neifel, who has been all over this racetrack. Neifel trying to get around Baldwin, going into the chicane, can't do it. Baldwin holds him off. Robert Lapalainen is the third place car, the black car, car number 4. Trying to get around both Neifel and Baldwin and try to work his way up into the battle for second place with Les Lindley.
Then we see Wayne Akers. He can get up there and start challenging Robert Lapalainen yet. There's a couple Fords. They'll be challenging hard. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out.
That's the battle for third place. Wayne Akers, the 21 car, in fourth. Lapalainen, the black car, in third place.
Mike Brockman reports on how drivers like Akers can afford to go racing.
Standing under the canopy here with a tractor trailer and 2 race cars.
Lynn St. James trying to get around him. And he holds her off.
There's Durhog. He's definitely wanting to get up and challenge with Lynn a little bit.
Jim Durhog and Lynn St. James battling back in the field. Lynn St. James is 1 lap down. Again, Irv Hare is battling for third place. Had an incident with Chris Neifel and is now hanging on to 14th, trying to pick up points. Darren Brasfield is still leading the Oldsmobile Trans Am Classic at Portland. And we'll be back after this. He sandwiched himself in between them. Baldwin trying to get around Lapalainen. Akers wouldn't mind following him around, but can he do it? Lapalainen holds him off. Akers, the 21 car, the third car in your sequence, is in third place. Fourth place, that is. Lapalainen is in third, and the battle is for third. Jack Baldwin is a lap down, the 28 car.
Jack Baldwin kind of being a fly in the ointment, so to say, in the middle of this situation. Got himself in between Lapalainen and Wayne Akers, and looks like he's having a little bit of a mischief in there.
Like he wanted to get around Lapalainen, try to get back on the lead lap eventually, but wasn't doing. Robert Lapalainen holding him off is running in third place. Wayne Akers running in fourth, trying to get around Baldwin so he can get his sights directly on Robert Lapalainen. Through turn number 9, now onto the front straight. What kind of speeds are they hitting here, Scott?
I'm guessing here they're upwards of about 160. Pretty fast straightaway. A little faster down the back straight, but definitely pretty quick. 160, 165 is pretty quick on this car.
You can see Lapalainen in the black car is closing in on Les Lindley, so we might have a nice battle developing in the next few laps for second place. The difference now between first and second is 11, almost 12 seconds. So Darren Brasfield at the front of the field starting to pull away, but Les Lindley is being closed down upon by Robert Lapalainen. Lindley in the yellow car, Lapalainen in the black one, Wayne Akers in the red, white, and blue 21 car. We've got a great battle developing, a 3-car battle for second.
As we seen in Detroit, it's never over till it's over. You have to get those race cars to the finish line. There's only 1 lap that counts in racing. That's the last one. If you're not there, nothing counts.
Working lap number 39. Les Lindley is a second place car. The yellow car right there. And right on his tail now is Robert Lapalainen trying to take over second place.
It's really closing in on Les. Looks like maybe Les is having a little bit of a problem with the way that Robert's catching in.
Down the front straight. Can Lapalainen make his move here? as we go into the chicane, we'll see if Lapalainen can make his move. The car directly in front of those two is Chris Neifel. Lindley holds him off into turn one. Lindley in the yellow car. Car number 8, the black and gold cars. Robert Lapalainen. Then Jack Baldwin comes up 1 lap down. Wayne Akers is the 4th car in the sequence. He is also on the lead lap and battling for position.
It's like Robert has a little bit better car than Les does. A little bit more grip, a little bit more hookup. Maybe that's just because he's taking care of the tires.
Les Lindley trying to hang on to second place. He's watching Darren Glassfield just pull farther and farther away in front of him in the lead. That difference is now 15 seconds, but he's got his hands full trying to hang on to second place. Into turn number 7. We've seen a couple of passes there, but Lapalainen doesn't try one. Through 8. Now they set up for 9. Heavy braking, downshifting, and preparing now for that long straightaway. Lapalainen sideways through that corner.
He's really working hard here. He's going to try and draft less down the straightaway and maybe try and out deepen down in turn 1.
Great battle for second place. Darren Brassfield still at the front, and we'll be back right after this. Les Lindley is not a likely place to pass, but a great move.
It certainly wasn't. What happened there is he just got on the marbles, and he's going to get passed by Wayne Akers here.
Jack Baldwin got by. He's a lap down. Wayne Akers also trying to get by. He doesn't quite get the job done, but he's right behind Les Lindley. Not a likely place to pass, but a great move by Robert Lapalainen to take over second place. Lindley falls to 3rd. The car directly behind the 8 car, the 21 car of Wayne Akers, is in 4th. Good racing at the front of the field here in Portland.
Les got just a little too far out that time. Got in the marbles, and that gave the opportunity for Lapalainen to slip on by.
In the green car, Jack Baldwin is a lap down. Lapalainen now starting to pull away a little bit. Does he have enough time to catch Darren Brassfield? 41 laps are down. 12 laps remain. Let's take a look at that pass one more time, Scott. A great move by Robert Lapalainen.
You see how far out he is. He just got out there, got in the marbles, couldn't do anything about it, and Lapalainen slipped right up the inside.
So Robert Lapalainen is now in second place. Another angle on the inside, and Les Lindley hung out to dry. Nothing he can do as he watched that Ford Mustang go right on by. Robert Lapalainen now in second place. Has a win this year. He won at Phoenix. There's a car in the grass, and it's the 3rd place car, 4th place car of Wayne Akers. A problem with Wayne Akers' Ford Mustang, and it looks like it could be terminal. He's starting to climb out of the car, so Wayne Akers, who was working his way up through the field, is done for the day.
Unhooking his belt. Wayne's a real charger, and it's a tough break for him. He's been running good all day long, keeping himself out of trouble, and mechanical problems put him out of the race today.
Wayne had a couple of top 5 finishes this year. Looked like he could be in line for another one here today, but he will drop out on lap 42. So Wayne Akers' day is finished.
The SCCA has a new safety system to show off. Here's Mike Brockman.
This tractor-trailer unit I'm standing in front of is a classic example of having the very best equipment possible and praying you never use it. It's a new mobile medical unit used by the SCCA.
He is your leader. He has a comfortable lead on a Robert Lapalainen in second place. Les Lindley is now in 3rd. Paul Ginalosi in 4th. Although Brassfield now being held up a little bit by some back markers. Robert Lapalainen, you can see him just now on the straightaway, the black and gold car, so that's the difference between 1st and 2nd place. Brassfield with a big lead. 3rd place, right behind Lapalainen, Les Lindley in the yellow car, car number 8. That's our best battle right now, the battle for 2nd place, Lapalainen and Les Lindley.
Brassfield, one of the young Lions, has really shown the way today. He's been out of trouble, been in a perfect situation, and now just taking care of his car. Be careful with the tires, careful with the brakes, be careful with traffic. A lot of times that could be cause a lot of problems. He's just in a situation when he wants to go out and run a nice, clean race and bring it on home.
10 laps remain. Lapalainen trying hard to catch the leader, but he's going to need a little help to do that. Down the back straight. See the car of Tommy Kendall without their hood going into the corner. Here's a battle right here in front of Lapalainen. Some back markers having a nice little battle, but that will slow Lapalainen down. Les Lindley is able to close down as Dick Danielson is right in front of Lapalainen. Lapalainen now pulls around Dick Danielson and will try to get some clear sailing. So some traffic right in front of Robert Lapalainen, and you don't want to see that, do you?
You certainly don't. Sometimes it can be a real problem for you to get by some of this traffic. The guy you're charging with slipping up behind you, if these guys hold you up a little bit, it'll be right back up on your tail, and it can really give you a problem when you're trying to pass them.
Randy Ruhlman is the white car. And there's a look at Max Jones in the pits now, who started this race on the pole. And Max Jones has had his problems. He is now in 9th place, or was before this pit stop, and this will be costly for our pole sitter. You're riding now with Jim Durhag, well behind the leader, Darren Brassfield, who is at the point with just 9 laps remaining here in Portland. Les Lindley in the yellow car. They go into the chicane. Lindley drops to the inside. Can't get by Lapalainen through the chicane. Lapalainen looks like he got through it a little bit better than Lindley did.
Saw Lapalainen catch up and pass him a little earlier. And this is a situation where it looks like Lapalainen just has a little bit better tire than Les does. Les may have been just a little too aggressive early on in the race, and that's a problem here in Trans Am. You got to be careful with the tires. You only have so much to deal with, and the cars are heavy enough where they overpower the tires and use them up.
The battle is for second place. Robert Lapalainen is in second. Les Lindley would like to be there. Well up over that curve. And now onto the back straight. Les Lindley, his best finish this year, a 6th place finish. Hanging on to 3rd place right here, trying to improve on that.
From this look, it looks like Robert's all over those curves. He's using every bit of them.
Robert Lapalainen about to complete lap number 46. It's a 53-lap race. Darren Brassfield comfortably out in front. This is the battle for second, and now they're closing in on a slower car, and that could be an advantage for Les Lindley. Let's go down to the pits. Mike Brockman.
Yeah, Brian, Scott's exactly right. This picture right here is of Max Jones's rear tires. He just absolutely got these things smoked off the back of that Mustang. I mean, they're really burning these tires up, and that's why these cars are so loose out there. It's a real handful at this stage of the race. Back to you, Brian.
Scott, I would imagine conserving is something that's very, very difficult for a hard-charging race car driver to do.
It certainly is, but I've learned the hard way. I remember racing a couple times in Trans Am where I've used up those tires before it was time, and it gets to be a real handful. You just cannot do anything to keep that car on the track.
Be conservative early, save them for the end, huh?
Certainly.
After 40 laps, here's how they stood. Darren Brassfield, the leader. Wayne Akers has since dropped out. We look now at Lapalainen trying to get around a slower car. Thought twice about trying to get by in that corner, but don't want to make a mistake lapping a back mark.
You certainly don't. It doesn't cost to run into somebody at this stage of the race. Only a few laps from the end out there, and he's having a good run with Les, but he can't take a chance on turning up his race car.
Les Lindley tries to get by. A back marker locks up the brakes, got pinched, and doesn't get collected by anybody. Here comes Ruhlman, who just misses him. Les Lindley in a very tough position right here, right at the chicane, and it looks like he killed the car. It's still running now. But he's going to try to rejoin the field, trying to get around a back marker. Max Jones now has to bail out. So Les Lindley causing a traffic jam in the chicane.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to have been Les there sitting backwards on the track, seeing all those cars coming at you. It's pretty hairy as it was, and being backwards to all those guys, it's pretty dicey.
Les Lindley trying to get around the 89 car of Jerry Clinton to keep the heat on Robert Lapalainen. Let's take another look at it. Going into the chicane. Lapalainen is the black and gold car. Now watch Lindley pulls up right behind Robert Lapalainen. The car on the right is Jerry Clinton. Lapalainen makes the pass. Clinton pinches him, and Lindley had nowhere to go.
Just didn't look like he saw him there, and Les Lindley just kind of got caught out lapping traffic. That's what we talked earlier. You have to be careful when you're lapping these guys. A lot of times they'll get caught up racing in the race, not watching their mirrors, and take you out of the race. Just unfortunate situation.
You're riding now with Jim Durhog. Let's get a feel for what it's like to lap Portland International Raceway in a fire-breathing Trans Am car.
Is now in third. There's Brassfield in the 5 car, taking it very careful around one of the back markers, John Anderson. Brassfield out high and gets by.
Just don't want to take any unnecessary chances now. He has a nice big lead, nice and comfortable. Take care of the car. Don't take any chances on lap traffic. As we saw, Les Linney got himself in that bad situation, got taken out of the race. Just cruise on home.
3 laps to go now for Darren Brassfield. Brassfield will become the first repeat winner this year if he can hang on for 3 more laps. There's the view out the back of Gentilosi's car. You can see here, Scott, just how fast these cars are actually going. It's tough to get a feel for it until you get a look from this angle.
It certainly is, and he's running about a top speed of like 160, 165, and a lot quicker than you think. Probably running about 70 to 75 miles an hour through these turns.
As you look at Paul Gentilosi now out the front on his helmet cam.
Really see how slippery the track's starting to get. He's really doing a lot of turning with that wheel and a lot of correcting it. So you'll turn into it and catch it, turn into it and catch it. That's really evident that the track's getting pretty slippery.
Pelosi has really benefited by the attrition today because he is now running in 3rd place. He's just run a steady pace and is now in 3rd and trying to hang on to that. There's your 2nd place car, Robert Lapalena. And Gentilosi is right behind him, so he's closing on Lapalena trying to get 2nd place.
Lapalena isn't too far out there. Again, the situation of V8 and V6. Paul may be in a situation where he has a little bit more tire, car hooking up a little better. Might be able to come up and challenge him.
Does he have time? 2 laps remain here in Portland. Paul Gentilosi trying to chase down Robert Lapalena. The battle is for 2nd place. Well out in front is Darren Brassfield. 2 laps remain. You're riding now with Paul Gentilosi. Trying to close down on Robert Lapalena. He has him directly in his sights. The car right in front of Gentilosi is Lapalena.
Looks like he's actually picking up some time here down to the S's. Could be a situation with tires.
He's really starting to close now. About a lap and a half remains. Now down the backstretch.
You see him catching up to a little bit of lap traffic. This could add to a major situation to this whole battle.
The white flag will fly for Darren Brassfield. He is now working his last lap. Less than 2 miles to go for his 2nd win of the year. The battle, meanwhile, lies in 2nd place. Darren Brassfield coasting. He could coast home from here.
I'll tell you what, I've been in this situation before, and I swear, you can feel everything is falling apart in that race car.
There's the battle for 2nd place. Lapalena looks like he's hanging on. They're on their last lap. They have both seen the white flag. Gentilosi in the red car. He's in 3rd. Lapalena is in 2nd. There is your leader. Down the backstretch. Is it true that on the last lap you hear every noise in a race car?
Yes, it is. You think that things are going to fall apart underneath. I think you even come up with things in the car that are falling apart that really aren't happening.
Lapalena has put a car between himself and Gentilossi now as they make their way around the race course. Gentilossi tries to get by and does. But does he have time to catch Lapalena? Here's Darren Brasfield coming toward the checkered flag. He wins the Oldsmobile Trans Am Classic. Darren Brasfield becomes his first repeat winner this year. Now the battle for second place. Gentilossi chasing down Robert Lapalena. Can he do it? Through turn 9, the final turn, heading toward the checkered flag.
Right now, Paul's hoping there's a couple more laps left. It doesn't look like he's going to have enough to do it.
He won't be able to do it. Robert Lapalena finishes in second place. Paul Gentilossi in third. Lynn St. James a lap down in fourth place. And Jim Durhog will finish in fifth. So Darren Brasfield with a great run wins his second race of the year. Robert Lapalena in second. Paul Gentilossi finished in third. There's Lynn St. James, who finished in fourth place in the Mustang. A steady run for Lynn all day long.
A wire-to-wire win for Darren. Nice, strong run. That's a perfect way for it to happen.
Lynn St. James finishes in fourth. 07 car, her best finish this year was another fourth at Phoenix. So a pair of fourth-place finishes this year for Lynn. She's got 21 now. Top 10 finishes in her career. There's your winner.